and Locations button will take you to a screen that's intended to be used to maintain information regarding clients, the people that we transport, and locations where we stop. Once that information is created with clients on the left side and locations on the right side, then we can relate the two using the middle table, whereby we pick a client and identify all of the locations that pertain to that client, or vice versa, pick a location and identify all the clients that pertain to that location. Either direction works. Once you define it in one direction, it's automatically defined in the other. That's what is called a many-to-many relationship, because one client can be related to many locations, one or more locations anyway, and one location can be related to one or more people, clients. Let's start by adding a client. You click the Add button up here to add a person. Requires a first name, and date of birth. Choose a option for sex. Status, either disabled or non-disabled. Mobility, ambulatory or wheelchair or walker. Account, this is the billing account to be used as the default for this person. Each time this software will do billing in addition to managing routes. So what we do is pick a billing account that will be the primary account for this person. And then when we define a route, it'll default to this, and it can be changed to some other account if that's appropriate. So this is the information that's required per person, and we click Create, and we'll create the new person. Here they are, Art the Nerd. So we got the new person. Now let's go define a new location, and it's defined also by a little pop-up menu like this. You click the type. Now I've only got two types right now. It's either a St. Coletta facility or a private address. So let's click St. Coletta facility, give it a name. And an address. Now this is a live address. I mean, it's live in that it's connected to Google to give suggestions. Let's just pick this first one that pops up. Then we click Create, and it creates an address. And there it is, so sort of right at the top, Art's group home. Okay. All right, so you go through that to create all of the clients and the locations. Then you can associate the two together. For example, let's take Art the Nerd. Notice if you click on Art the Nerd, oh, I'm sorry, if you click on the Locations button for Art the Nerd, there are none, since we just added them and we haven't associated anything. But you also notice that when we do click on the Locations button, all of the locations on the right have a left arrow. So you can click on any of the locations arrows, and it will define that location as being associated with the client that you've selected. So let's click the arrow for Art's group home. That will associate that location with Art the Nerd. And it'll ask for a couple of pieces of information. Select the location's relationship to the client. We want to know what type of location this is as far as the client's use. Home, employment, education, training, social, recreation, etc. These are all classifications that we need to keep track for DOT reporting. So this would be the home of Art the Nerd. And for transportation to and from this home, we can override the default billing account to something else. Well, we won't, but that's what that's for. This is where you can, of course, establish a default billing account when you add the client to the database, but then when you associate it with an address, you can change the billing account to whatever applies for that particular address. Anyway, you click Done button when you're completed, and we've associated that one. Let's just associate another one, Excel Jefferson, perhaps, and that would be, I don't know what does, education training, and we'll take the default there also. So now we've got two locations associated with Art the Nerd. So if we also click on clients for Jefferson Excel, we'll see that somewhere Art the Nerd, there you go, Art the Nerd shows up as being associated with Excel Jefferson, in addition to all the other people we've got associated. But if you click on clients for Art's Group Home, it's just Art so far, of course. So anyway, that is the way we define people and places. People that we transport and places where we transport them, and to create all associated locations. Once that is defined, then it's easy to go ahead and define a route. But I want to point out some additional information on this screen first. You notice up here in the box above the clients table, we've got a search field. We can key in a phrase there. These have to be complete words, but so if we click on Art, for example, and hit the return button, it will show only those clients with that character string in their name. So you can easily find a particular person. All right, you clear it out and they all come back. I also want to demonstrate this. Took this key in BAT, as in the Batman name here. You'll notice that BAT gets nothing because it's not a complete name. What we key in the search key has to be a complete character string. Like Art will work, the will work, nerd will work, but just BAT will not, because there's no independent word in anyone's name that is BAT. All right, so I just want to demonstrate that. So we already used the add button. Now I want to demonstrate what the pencil is for. This is a table, of course, with all of the people defined. If you click on the pencil, you're able to change information for that person. For example, let's click on the pencil for Art the Nerd, and it brings up a screen with all of the fields, values for that person, and we can change them. You just change them directly here. Change the name or whatever, change the date of birth, change the sex code, change the disability status, and the mobility and the account. All of those fields can be changed. Okay, when you're finished changing anything, you can just click Done, and it takes you back to where we came from. Now the trash can, you might guess, is delete. So you can if you click the trash can, it will ask you to confirm that you want to delete. If you click the little green check marks, it will delete that person from the table. If you click the red X, it won't. The pencil that's up above the table here, the pencils on each line allow you to change information for that particular person's record. But if you click the pencil that's on the top of the table, it will bring up a listing for everyone that's in the table, and you can be free to modify any of the information that's in the entire client table. Okay, everything I've just explained for the client side also applies to the location side in the same way, in that they have a pencil in each row. You can change the location information, and a delete button in each row, and also a pencil at the table level where you can pull up the entire table. So in the same way as we can modify information in the client's table, we can do the same thing in a location table by clicking the pencil. It pulls up the record, and the fields that we've entered can be modified directly here. Click Done. It takes us back to where we were. And also in the same way, we have the pencil up here at the top of the table that allows us to pull up the entire table and change any field we want. Okay, so that is how to maintain clients and